Hello, Wasim. Fine. See that now we can start discussion. Hello. No.
Hello,
Is
good
my voice
morning.
clear to you? Okay. Now, two centers of
Good
size.
morning, ma'am.
How are
The
you?
size A
Um,
is two centers of.
Okay.
your
Am I audible?
yes, sir.
And is the
And
screen
they have
visible?
150 respectively. That means 50 and 60 the standard deviations 5
Yes?
and 6. So find the mean
Yes,
respective deviation of the
ma'am.
combined center
Okay.
of size.
So let us
Okay,
start
now
with
put
today's
my
lecture.
name on this. So E1 here,
Today we shall be studying about splitting fields.
N1 is equal to
So let us see what are these splitting fields.
X11 is equal to 50
So in the earlier
and
classes what we have studied
sigma 1 is
about
equal
what
to
is a field, how can we adjoin an element to this field, and moreover we have also studied about finite fields,
epsilon is equal to
algebraic
50
fields and
and
algebraically
sigma
closed
is
fields.
equal to 50.
So now here
So this is the
let us
information
see
now.
what is the need for this splitting field. For that we consider this field Qx and some irreducible polynomial x square plus 1. So obviously because this
Then
polynomial, this
derivation of
is
the combined.
irreducible
This
polynomial.
sometime write the formula of combined
If this
field.
is an irreducible
This x
polynomial,
square
that
plus
means
1 is equal to
the ideal generated by this
n1 of this
polynomial, this would
formula,
be the maximal ideal.
n2 x
If this is the
square
maximal
plus
ideal,
1
then the
n1
field generated by this quotient field, this would be a field. uh, can you please mute yourself?
how we can calculate this. The given
Yes.
information we are having n1 is equal to 50
Okay.
plus sigma 1 is
So
equal
now
to
if
n2
I am considering this
plus
polynomial x
sigma 1
square plus 1 and I am assuming alpha to be its root,
in the way of
so what
combined
kind of
field
alpha
this
element would be?
x1
It would
plus
be
1
some element x
n1 is
plus
equal
the
to
ideal
alpha
generated by this irreducible polynomial. So now if alpha is the root,
reducing this
then minus alpha would also be
calculated
its root.
with the
So now
value is
if
here
they both of them are its root, that means we can write this polynomial
plus
x square plus 1 as the
150
product of these two polynomials x minus alpha and x plus alpha, because
upon
alpha and minus alpha are the roots
100
of this
plus
polynomial.
1.
So is it always true? Can we always write the polynomial as a product of these two polynomials?
Now,
So let us check this thing. So how do we check that? We first consider this product. So how can you open up this product? You
plus
can just multiply the terms, the
is equal
corresponding
to
terms, and you would have x square minus alpha square. So now what is the value of alpha? The value of alpha was x plus the ideal generated by x square plus 1. So now what would be alpha square? Alpha square would be the square of this term, and the square we know how to perform the calculation in ideals and cosets. So it would be x square plus the ideal generated by this. So we have alpha square as this term over here. So now moreover in the ideal calculation you have this quantity 0 plus the ideal generated by x square plus 1, that would be equal to x square plus 1, the ideal generated by x square plus 1, because these two quantity they would merge with each other and ultimately you will be able to have 0 only, right? So now you can shift this minus plus 1 to the left hand side, so you would have minus 1 plus the ideal generated by x square plus 1, that would be equal to x square plus the ideal generated by x square plus 1. So we can substitute in place of x square plus the ideal generated by this as this, right? So now you can open up the bracket, so you'll be having x square plus 1 plus the ideal generated by this. So ultimately this thing is equivalent to x square plus 1. So ultimately we have written the product of these two terms as x square plus 1. So now this was a very simple case. So, and can we do this for every kind of polynomial? So let us have a look at this answer. We are saying x square plus 1, this could be written as the product of linear factors in some extension of Q. So splitting field, this form one such kind of field extension in which the polynomial, whatever polynomial do we have, that reduces to the corresponding linear factors. So it only depends on the polynomial, but it does not only depend upon the polynomial. Say the polynomial that we took in the earlier case was x square plus 1. So whatever the polynomial you have, it will depend upon the kind of polynomial, and it will also depend upon the field on which this polynomial is defined. So for example, this polynomial was defined on the field of rational numbers. So all the coefficients 1 and 1, they were taken from this field of rationals. So in fact, splitting field is the smallest extension field of f in which the given polynomial splits. So this is the definition for the splitting field. So the formal definition of splitting field is that if fx be the given polynomial having degree greater than equal to 1, then the extension of this field k of f, that is known as the splitting field of fx over f. And we can write this fx as the into the linear factors in that field, linear factors having coefficients in the given field k. So if you have some field here as f and you have some extension field here as k, so you can write the given polynomial. Sorry,
मैं विजिबल नहीं है.
विजिबल नहीं है? आपको स्क्रीन दिख रहा है
नो
मेरा?
मैम.
कैन यू सी द स्क्रीन?
जी मैम वो है.
अभी दिख रहा है? Is it visible now? Okay. So the definition for this splitting field is, if we have some polynomial in f of x which has degree greater than equal to 1, then this is known as the splitting field. If we can factor that polynomial into the linear factors, where the coefficients of this factorization comes from this field k, and moreover we can write the extension field k as f adjoined with some n elements, and these n elements, they are nothing but they are the roots of that polynomial in k. So this is the definition of splitting field. So we have to take care of these two things. One is the polynomial should have linear factors, and second thing, it should be adjoint with all the roots of that polynomial. So the extension field is the lower field adjoined with all the roots of that particular polynomial. So let us see the example. The first example is this extension field q, where square root 2 has been adjoined to it. So all the elements here would be of this kind: a plus square root 2 into b, where this a and b, they are from rational numbers. So now how this forms the splitting field of the polynomial x square minus 2? This is because you can write x square minus 2 as the product of two polynomials of this kind, where this coefficient square root 2 and minus square root 2, they are irrational numbers and they are not present in Q. If they are not present in Q, that means we would go and look for some other extension field. So it would be of this kind, and so all the rational numbers where square root 2 has been adjoined to it forms the splitting field of this particular polynomial. The next example is that of the field of complex numbers over the field of real numbers. So the field of complex numbers would be written as the field of real numbers where iota has been adjoined to it. So it could be written as a plus iota b kind, where both this a and b, they are real numbers. So if you see this polynomial x square plus 1, you can split this into linear factors, and these linear factors have coefficient in the extended field Ri, which is the field of complex numbers. So let us now move on to the third example. Show that the degree of extension of the splitting field of x cube minus 2 is 6. So for that, what we do here, the given the given polynomial is x cube minus 2. So firstly we will check whether this is an irreducible polynomial or not. So to check its irreducibility, we will go to Eisenstein's criteria. What does this say? It says that this polynomial is irreducible over Q because there is no such prime number P such that all the conditions of Eisenstein's criteria is satisfied. So once this becomes the irreducible polynomial and it is monic polynomial, so we can say this polynomial is the minimal polynomial of 2 to the power 1 by 3. Why 2 to the power 1 by 3? Because this is the root of this particular polynomial x cube minus 3. So now if this is an irreducible polynomial, the maximal generated by this polynomial, the ideal generated by this polynomial would be the maximal ideal. And if this is the maximal ideal, the field generated by qx divided by this maximal ideal, this the new extension field, where now you have adjoined q and you have adjoined 2 to the power 1 by 3 to the field q. So this is now a field. And what is the degree of this extension field over the lower field? That is the degree of this irreducible polynomial, and it is equal to 3 because its degree is 3. So we now have one root of the polynomial and we are interested to calculate all the roots of this polynomial. So how could that be done? This is the root. That means this would be the factor. If this is the factor, so we can divide this polynomial with this factor through long division. So what you do, you'll divide x cube minus 2 with x minus 2.
Excuse me, मैम
Yes.
मैम स्क्रीन हमें विजिबल नहीं है आपका, कि आप जो पढ़ा रहे हो वो विजिबल ही नहीं है, हम सिर्फ सुन सकते हैं,
Okay.
जो नोट्स हैं वो नहीं दिख रहे हैं हमें.
Okay. Let me see.
Now, substituting all values, we got this as 56, and calculation of sigma 1 to d1 and d2 is required. So we calculate it separately. So it is d1 is equal to x plus r minus x1, and d2 is x2 bar minus x1. So substituting all those values, we got that sigma 1 is equal to 7.46. So what I will suggest you rewrite this. Right. Next.
Is it visible now?
हाँ मैम.
No. Okay. Let me check.
For a next question. For a group containing
Now.
for a group containing 100 observations for a
नो मैम.
No. Okay.
containing 100
Let me check.